What's going on, guys? Welcome back to I'm Trying Dude, where we like to go deep, but keep it light. Today we've got Season 2, Episode 5. This one question could absolutely change your fucking life. And we're not going to ask it right away, because we're getting better at this podcast thing, so we're going to tease this out a little bit. But we will talk about, it could also do absolutely fucking nothing for you.
Yeah, true. You could listen and be like, wow, that's the question? That fucking sucks, dude. I could think of a million better questions. But, you know.
We are trying to do our best, so hopefully that's not your reaction. But yeah, you're right. Also kind of depends on like how you view life. But if you're open-minded like us, then you might enjoy the question. Good deep. Before we jump in, I think we have maybe cut a little too short on like just us making out. Should we do that before we start?
Yeah, we should.
Great. No, just letting loose and just chatting about us as like sexual partners.
Oh, okay. I was like,
can't get out the loop now.
I was like, wait, why are we not making out? What is it?
No, just just to shoot the shit a bit more. I think you felt a little bit for everybody listening to the last couple episodes. Dan shared with me something on the drive here. He felt a little entrapped.
Yeah, life with a huge dong is so tough. I think. I think so. I feel like I've been doing this podcast a little bit of a disservice. I think it was focused very much on trying to be. I think I was getting a little too heady. I think I'm like trying to really nail down and drive down on points where
you're just not that smart.
I'm just not, I'm just like the type of guy who likes to not prepare. I think me over prepared is like a real issue because then I'm like I get so in my head about okay, here's what I've prepared.
As long as it's comparison and not competition.
Yeah, dude. Like how many times can I say that in a fucking episode? I don't know. Apparently 20. So like I think from now on, I mean obviously I'm going to prepare a little bit, but
tell them.
I was over preparing.
There we go.
And now I'm not under preparing, but I'm coming in just hot enough to where I've got an idea, like a gist of what we're talking about without like feeling like I need to stick to the framework. I think like I wanted more structure in season 2. I think we're lacking a little bit of structure.
I'm going to do a little bit. We're doing that. I think you guys see that, right? With the questions.
But I was getting so lost in the structure that I was like losing myself in the process, I think. So I am going to kindly take a seat back in the structural part of things and just kind of let it rip, dude. So
which will be you so much more in the foreground again. I'm fucking excited for that. And thank you all, by the way, for like bearing with us as we grow and continue to like find the balances and nuances of what the fuck this shit is.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun, and like I think the last couple like they felt important in a way, but like also like they haven't been as fun as we had in season 1. So
let's change that, dude. I have a good feeling about this. We had a huge question today. Like, this question could change somebody's fucking life.
Yeah, could.
Yeah, could.
It's up to you though.
If you're a chill dude like that.
Yeah. The question is, how are you?
Imagine
like
someone on their commute's like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
Right. That's what I fucking wasted my commute time on, listening to these two dicks, bro. Can we talk about the question? Can we talk about? We'll get to the question. Fucking be patient already. Not you, them.
Oh, okay. I was like,
okay. You
my
too.
bad.
Me too. Can we talk about what we did on Friday? Can we pop our? Can we pop our,
dude. I was actually staring at this drink and I'm like, I'm thirsty. Nice. Yeah, I got
all over the mic
everywhere. Good thing this is my microphone, and
not mine. Spindrift.
At some point, Spindrift will sponsor us, and I want you guys to know I'm calling it now. It's gonna be so cool. Be like, oh man, remember when we used to just crack a Spindrift at the beginning of every episode? Yeah. People were like, why are they doing that? And then
they got a new flavor out. Like I'm literally not even getting paid to say this.
Do
now.
They
got a brand new flavor out, like
What's
passion fruit something.
Is it
called
good?
Island Time or something. It looks great. I haven't tried it.
Of course,
it looks
it's
great.
called Island Time.
It might not be it, but tropical island. I don't know.
You've tried it?
No, not yet.
No? Oh.
No, but I asked them to send some.
But dude, on Friday, you were a freaking G and showed up for me getting my courthouse marriage.
Yeah,
I got married on Friday.
Married.
I'm married. Like, how nuts is that shit? I have a wife.
Now you can disregard her.
Seriously.
Not a girlfriend to disregard, not a fiance, a wife.
Ignore my girlfriend and my dog.
She's your property now, man. That's awesome.
Dude, it's crazy. We're bound by the law. She can't leave.
She can.
Well, she can, but it's not going to go well. No, dude, I got fucking married. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Best part of that whole thing was I could barely understand. Like, so we did it at the courthouse in New York. So it's a whole like process of whatever. So they funnel you into like this little room, and then they call you by your name, and then you go into the side room. And basically it's like a podium with this glass around you, like the person who's like talking to you to like do the vows and stuff. And then we got this little Asian lady with this mask on, and I could not
so
really
small,
understand.
dude.
She was so tiny. She was so
tiny.
little. And, she's like, okay, you guys can hold hands. And she's like telling us like, Daniel, do you take Emiliana to be like your wife or whatever? And I just totally blacked out and was like, yes. And then everyone got quiet. And even the lady, and Emiliana was like, you're supposed to say I do. And I was like, oh, sorry. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Yes, as well. And then at the end of everything, we said yes. She's like, you are now married, whatever. And she hands us the certificate. And I thought it was the funniest thing because she goes, congratulations, have a nice life. And then walks out. Just congrats.
drop.
Yeah, have a nice life, leaves. That was the funniest thing.
The funniest thing, dude. You realize she gets to mic drop like 40 times a day, every day, and that's her job.
Yeah. I wonder if she
Right?
gets joy from that. You think she wakes up and is like, man, I get to marry 40 people today. And that, like, I'm so stoked to see love like that. Like, do you think she's, like, I hope she's happy. Because, like, that's such, like, even though
I
it's
hope
like,
she's not like desperately single.
she's like, uh-huh.
So you fucking love each other also? Yeah? That would suck. No, there's a weird balance between like, I felt like she kind of fucked with what she did, but also she was like, I was there because I got to witness the whole thing.
Yeah. You're
And witness I was.
You crushed.
Great at looking at what was going down and legally, backing you guys up.
Yeah.
You are
You're
married
a
now.
phenomenal witness.
Thank you. But also to take some photos. So
What have you been up to?
we actually have a photo of her if you want to.
Oh yeah,
we
do. We do have a photo of her right here. We'll put it right there.
Just making myself more work for fucking
I'll send it
editing.
to you.
It's great. That's
I'll send it to you next week.
no one was there to take photos. It was just really cool. It was
Thanks,
nice.
man. No, it's
It's cool
crazy.
to be a part of that.
It's
Thank you.
it's crazy.
It was an honor, man.
Dude, thank you for being there. Are you kidding me? How's your week been? How you been
pay me
doing?
for.
What have you been up to? You think I have money for that?
What?
There's the Spindrift hasn't paid out yet.
Who? What? Me? Look, I have had an interesting week, I'd say. So I've been back now for a full week from like the European travels and like fully adjusted again. And I think, man, am I dialed in? Like, like I guess still got to very much focus on myself, like figuring a few things out. But in terms of like loving and living life again, like just on my own part, which is something I'd forgotten myself. Like I'd forgotten myself in the equation for so long. It's great, man. Like I'm running far, I'm running fast. I feel good about it. I'm working out. I'm playing tennis. We're doing this, which is so fucking fun. I'm pushing on a couple of new like professional endeavors that I'm hoping are gonna go through in the next week or two. To just having more fun again, getting dressed up because I'm taking all the pressure off of it, and it's been It's been a ride, man. It's been really cool.
That's good, dude. Hell yeah. Congratulations.
Man. Thanks. Yeah.
I feel like it's tough coming back from trips like that too, where, obviously you want to enjoy it, but there's also a business aspect. And then you come back and you're like launched right back into business mode and having to reacclimate to your life.
Yeah.
So hearing this is like, that's great.
Yeah, it's great. It is now, man. Like I'm sleeping so well since I stopped drinking, man. It's awesome. Like every day, like, so for those of you that don't know what a Whoop is / how it works, it's a fitness tracker, and what one of my favorite functions about is which I don't actually know that. I don't know if you know that about me. Like I love that you can give it a window, a 1 hour window where you tell it to wake you up. Do you know that?
Well, I know. I always said it's like the exact time.
Oh, okay. So I don't do that because fuck that.
Really?
I always set it to latest like 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, depending what day it is, like what I'm doing. And if I'm in the green, which means like my body has recovered well up until that point or earlier, it'll wake me anytime between like 5:30 and 6:30 or 7:30 and 8:30. And
depending on your recovery level.
Yes. Only if you're in the green at that moment will it already wake you, because it's like, yep, you got enough juice if you want to like go kill this king. So like, I fucking love that, because sometimes you then start the day not only half an hour, 45, sometimes an hour early, but also it's like the alarm went off, you look down and it says like 5:30. You said it for 6:30 and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm already good. I'm already in the green. And then you have the extra hour, the combination of like the extra time with the motivation of like, at least from a biological standpoint, you got the juice to go today. Man, those days start fucking amazing. And like that's been ever since I stopped drinking. Like I used to be very much red and yellow.
Yeah.
With the occasional green. Now it's like green, almost green, which is yellow. Oh, fuck you. But no, it's
That's gotta be nice, man. I feel like my whoop just screams at me. It's like, please stop what you're doing. Please sleep more. You've seen my whoop scores. Those like red.
You're getting better, man,
red,
and I'm proud of you.
Red, yellow, red.
My guy, I think it's time for the question.
Yeah, let's dive in.
I think let's dive. Dig first.
So the question is, how many inches?
You fully had me. You fully had me.
No. What is the question? What is the topic
he's taking
today?
it. Literally, I was like, damn, he's taking it. He's taking the question. You fucking say the question.
The question is, what would you do?
Give it some gravitas. Back it up. Deep breath. Gravitas.
Today's question. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail or would not fail?
I almost got goosebumps. You could do better, I think.
I
But
think I
let's
could
run
do
with
better.
it.
But for the sake of just keeping it moving.
Just fucking run with it.
I mean, it's a question I feel like you hear all the fucking time. Ad nauseum, I feel like. Right?
Really?
Yeah, dude. Any motivational thing that listen again. I'm a huge, I love self-help books, love podcasts that talk about self-improvement, self-help and stuff. Any motivational speeches, all the rah-rah stuff. I love that stuff. I feel like one of the things they always use is that, like the question is like, well, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? If you knew that you could succeed in whatever you did, like what would you do? Like I feel like I hear that all the time. Do you know?
Interesting. No, and
Really?
I'm not in the in that realm of like content, right? But I also definitely think that a lot of people listening in aren't necessarily like we are trying to make a lot of that shit more accessible, right? Like just because
great then, dude. If you haven't heard this question, even better.
I mean, I've heard it. Don't get me wrong, but I've also heard it in therapy,
But if
from
you
a life coach,
pondered
But so why do you think then? It's cool. I didn't know it was that present for you, at least, and like for the content that you consume. So why do you think that it is that important a question?
Well, I think it sets you up for like. That's a good question, man. Now I gotta like backtrack and think about that. Like,
do it.
Well, think about it. If someone asks you that, what would you do if you know you couldn't fail? I think immediately you're gonna say something that you really want to do, but are like too scared to do or too afraid that it might not work out for you.
Right.
But as like something that you genuinely, in your heart of hearts, really want to go after or do, or like you're passionate about.
Cool.
You know?
Exactly. So like I'm with you. Like the way I view the question is like it's a shortcut. It's just like take all fears away. What the fuck you want to do? Mm-hmm. What is it you want to like? Because if you are afraid of failing and you don't do something, then that means that like you're just not doing that. And that there's another question I would like to talk about later, like whether that's actually the case. Are you just not doing it because you're afraid to fail? Because as you know, we've talked about failure on this podcast, and we've talked about the fact that it's very much a part of the path to success in any one thing.
Absolutely.
But let's stick with let's stick with this really quick. I think I don't think the majority of people that would get asked the question would, one, off the top of the head, know the answer. Like I want to go back in our lives and like ask like if you've asked yourself that question at any one point. But right now, if I ask you, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
I feel like I'd just say exactly what I'm doing. Like I just keep doing what I'm fucking doing.
That's cool.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fully of the mind that I will achieve everything that I set out to do. I think everyone should think like that.
Yeah, man. That's wonderful. That's a great fucking response.
That could just be me. That could be like, but I'm like, in prepping for this episode, you're like, the first thing that I wrote down, funny enough, is delusion gets the job done. And then I think you should be absolutely delusional when it comes to your dreams and stuff that you want to do. If you want something, go fucking do it. Like, I don't. And again, we talked about this where like, you know, there's definitely a fear of failure, you know, but like why? You know, like, and this, it sounds like so, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm dumbing this down to like a really stupid level, but like, I think that you should totally embrace delusion and act as if you will not fail in anything that you do.
Okay. So I fuck with that, like, to some extent, because you are a very talented man.
Thanks. Almost spit out myself.
You're you know, pretty fucking good at all the things you love doing, right? So like,
I try to
like
be.
music, you rap, cool. You know, you want to model, doesn't work out because you're not pretty, but that's okay. Like somehow you still get work anyway.
Yeah, so, somehow they're still like this guy.
You want to act, you go act, like, and you have a talent for that. You want to fashion, like, you know, we're working on it, but
yeah. You saw my outfit today. What do you?
It's there. There were colors. Should have stuck to the all black, bro. No, you seriously are in love with a lot of the things that you have a natural knack for, right? So ask me.
What would you do, Marcel, if you knew that you could not fail?
Sing.
Sing? Really?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you sing?
I mean, for myself, yeah.
Okay. Just keep doing that. Why would you not?
Okay. Thank you for hopping on my train. Welcome. We'll have a conversation now, you fucking dick. I've always really, really loved singing. Okay. So I love music on like another level. I think
you really do.
I think a lot of people do, but music means. I notice when like you know, some days like you don't end up listening to music, like shit goes, I don't know, you have shoots or something, like you just don't listen to your music, or like you're with people. Like I after 2-3 days of not listening to my music, I've noticed now that I get very fucking irritated.
Really?
Point there, because we're detouring now too far from the topic, but it's something I love and something I know that at present I'm not good at, right? And I also know this is one of those things, like you can get better with training, but at some point, or some people also just don't have voices that even if you hit the right notes, is it gonna sound good, or like to the level that I could make money with it? I don't think, right? And it's funny because I think today we're touching on like a few different things in our that we've talked about on here before. One being like not everything has to be a side hustle, right? I don't have to make money with singing. So at the same time, like I do it, of course. Like I sing fucking in the car, I sing in the apartment. I don't care. I love to sing at karaoke. I don't care if it sucks necessarily, but I do because I just wish that it would, you know, go better. At the same time, like I don't because I feel like I know I don't have the potential for it to be like amazing. I don't even put in the work to, you know, do a little vocal training every day for like 15 minutes. I got a fucking keyboard upstairs. I could do it. Like all you got to do is press a freaking note and run some things. Like online, you got all there is. But I think for me, the idea is that like failure is so inherent to this, because to me, failure, the way I define it in this case, is not enjoyable to others when I truly want to sing what I want to sing. Like I don't want to stick to things that work for my register. I don't want to stick to things that, you know what I mean? Like I just want to fucking sing the high notes and crush them. Yeah. And people are like, damn, that's what I want. And since I feel like I know that I can achieve that, I don't. Now, this is something like it still persists to this day, this like feeling, but if anybody out there feels the same way about whatever the fuck they're doing, like it's really hard to get out of this, right? Like you can say like, yeah, just push through and fuck it, like it's fine. And that's true, right? But that's also how people end up on these casting shows and they absolutely fucking botch it in front of the judges.
For sure.
Like, has no one told you that you suck at this? Like
they become a meme.
So if we want to avoid that, even though cringe is trending, if we want to avoid that, I think one, you know, good friends and good people around you will call you out, or at least let you know, like, hey, there's room for improvement here. But what I ended up doing, because I loved music so much and I felt like I couldn't give a voice to it, I gave my body to it. So I started dancing. That to me was like a way that I could live and feel music similar to what it feels like when I sing. So a big important note, I think, for me to give away to everybody listening today or watching is, if you feel like you're not doing something because you literally are convinced you will not be good at it, for one, question it. Are you truly? Two, do you need to, like, why can't it be just for you for fun? Like, I could just sing better and enjoy it. But if you went down all those paths and you still feel like, I just want to spend part of my life with this, look at the auxiliary ways that are going with it, like things that go with your passion, where you can be around it. Like, I don't know, you could, if you're really good at business, right? You could manage singers and artists and rappers, right? And you could be around it and you can have your feedback there. You could produce and work if you really are good musically, you could produce and work with artists and like and do that. And this is, I was sticking to one little thing here of like music, because that's, I've thought about this,
Right.
But I think that's important for me to point out today, that like, if you're afraid of failing, because at the end of the day, right, like, reality check, we're going to fail. Like, this is really just this question in the beginning. It's just to get you in the right direction of like, shit, this is something that you could probably see yourself doing and enjoying for a lifetime, because it's really you.
So just so I hear you correctly, what you're saying is, if you like something or you're passionate about something, you can insert yourself into that general realm and still find fulfillment in what it is that you love, without necessarily being like doing the thing.
If you are like, if you tried everything and you just can't do the thing that you want to do, try and find something that relates to it, where you can be around the thing, right? Where you can enjoy the thing and be part of it in a way, but get as close to it as possible.
I think it's really great advice. That is really good.
Hey.
Because you're 100% right. Like, if you want to be like a great singer, but that you're not going to be like, some great singer or whatever, you can, like, the whole dancing thing, the dancing anecdote you provided was great, because you're a great dancer. So if you still get that joy out of it, then like, fuck yeah, you know?
Yeah. Have you, I think, so two things I want to talk about. One I'll talk about later.
Okay.
So I think another question is, like you said this before, like, oh, people are just doing that because they're afraid of failing. But like, we dedicated a whole episode to failure, and like, I think if you really want something enough, you don't necessarily care, right?
No.
Because you're like, fuck it, like, you realize that failure is becoming part of it. But I think I think a lot of people would use that as an excuse to just not have to do the thing that they want to do so badly. And that sounds counterintuitive, but I think people are afraid to succeed.
Like they want an out, you're saying. Like,
people
want
like,
oh,
no,
it's not going to work.
It's just not going to work, so I want to do it.
Not even going to try.
Not even going to try. Because I think some people are lazy. I think some people are too stuck in their comfort zones. And I think some people don't, for whatever experiences they've had in their life, don't believe that they deserve to be happy, so they don't. So I think a large part of like, oh no, but I could fail. Like, no fucking shit, you can fail. That's not a fucking reason not to do it.
Well, that's where I think the delusion comes in a little bit.
Right.
Where like there's so many people not doing the thing, or too afraid to do it, or like, I'm just gonna, like you said, using it as an excuse to not, that the bar for entry is so low that if you just do it, odds are you can progress to a point where, you're happy or making progress or whatever, because no one else is freaking doing it.
Yeah.
That is like, I don't know. I think that's like a big thing for me, at least. It's like, look, there's so many people who are going to make that excuse and not, it's too hard, or I might get, I'm not that good or whatever.
Right.
That like, okay, be the one that just goes in and does it.
Right. Fuck
you know?
No, dude, like that's great fucking advice. Like, if that's where you're caught up, like listening to this, if that's where you caught up, yeah, man. This reminds me of like the whole pickup scene. Like, not that I ever really watched those videos, but of course, like, I'm a guy, I was a teenage guy, like I was approaching women.
Oh.
Approaching
was
women
that a
was always...
scene?
Yeah,
scene?
No. Yeah. That's like on YouTube. That was like a lot of those guys, like charisma on command. I think did
What?
broader stuff, but like this whole ideology around approaching women and like how to do it and how to be confident.
Where were these videos when I was a kid?
Honestly, what a lot of it boils down to is just like, just do it.
Yeah.
Because like, how many guys like you and I, like I could never approach women, never. Like I like
terrified, so scared, terrified
of failing, of being rejected, like
Yeah.
that fear of rejection,
even putting yourself out there.
and that's it.
Yeah.
But that's just like literally what you just said. You technically have held the key to that same mystery this entire time,
For sure.
But like you just don't apply it to that, right? Because same thing, like it comes up a lot in those types of videos. Like the prettier the girl, the less. No, well, that's not a rule of. It's a rule of thumb, fucking vaguely, right? But like,
What is it?
the prettier the girl, the less they're getting approached.
Oh,
Because
I
a lot
have
of people,
heard that.
Because a lot of people are like, she's out of my league. You know what I mean? So if you just do the thing, and again, this is not something I can speak to from experience. It's just something that it reminded me of. Okay, so great answer to that one. One step before, let's talk about if you don't know how to answer the question.
The question of how many inches. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking measure,
yeah,
bitch.
that was a stupid joke. You shouldn't have laughed at that. It was really dumb.
It
was
was a pity laugh.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
a
yeah.
fun-
I
it's
know.
fine.
I could tell. Your heart wasn't in it, and I was like, you know what? That joke did not do well, and I know it didn't do well. Wait, the question of what could you do if you didn't feel like what to do when you don't have an answer to that?
Yeah. Because I think that's so I have not had an answer to this. I had not had an answer to this for a long time. Because it was like, yeah, you know, you can do the influencer thing and you're making the money and like it's cool, but like, what would you do? And like the question I had dealt with more, like, what would you do if money wasn't
An object.
like a part of the discussion, right?
Yeah.
Which is a slightly different question, but mostly the same, I'd say, right? But there was a point in my life where I just didn't know how to answer that question, right? Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't over a few years there, I'd forgotten to enjoy life, right? Which is why I think that episode we shot about like why everything doesn't need to be a side hustle and hobbies is so important, even though it might look so, like up top. When you asked me at the top of the episode how I was feeling, like the majority of why I'm feeling as good as I'm feeling, the majority is my hobbies. It's running and tennis and working out. And of course my relationship, but like it's not the thing that I'm making money with, right? And ironically, I needed to find that first, that hobby part, to know who I am again, to find the joy in life again, to then be to have any sort of positively charged creativity that was like, hey man, like what could I bring this playfulness, that like energy, that fucking like I want to go, what could I bring this to that offers value to other people, right? This fucking podcast is a result of me working out more. Like it's got nothing to do with one or the other and everything to do with each other, right? So what my advice for the question, and I'm very happy to hear if you would approach it differently or have ever found yourself at a point in life where you couldn't answer the question. But like what I had found is that if you don't know what you want to do in life with the big picture, go small. It likely means that you're not enjoying much of life, period, right? So like find the small things that you truly are grateful for, and not because a book told you to show gratitude over some shit. Like feel it. Fucking feel what you're grateful for. Start there, and then let that feeling of positivity drive you to other things that fill you up more. And I promise you, like it's going to grow and grow and grow. This love for life again. And Stutz, great movie. Jonah Hill interviews his therapist. Yeah. I've mentioned it to you. You still got to watch it. I think we should dedicate a freaking episode on it. I don't know. That's stupid. It's a movie. Y'all should go watch it. We don't have to talk about it. But I'm going to talk about it briefly. In the beginning, he's like, to get yourself out of that hole, like if you can't see a vision, it's very likely that you're depressed of any sort of level, right? And this is not medical advice. To get out of it is so simple and so hard. But it's like these small things. So yeah, okay, that feels a little heavy now. So
No. I will say I do agree with you. I think, and it's funny that you said like you got to kind of start small and do your own thing. I feel when I was on my own like little self-help and self-betterment journey, and I talked to my therapist about this, I was like fully obsessed with adopting all these practices and things that all these really successful and like, you know, well-balanced people were doing, because I was like, okay, that's going to help me in my life. You know, waking up at 5 a.m., journaling every day, cold showers or ice bath, you know, all these like different things. And eventually my therapist was like, look, that's all well and good, but you're writing your own book. Like what do you, like what works for you? You know, what works for, you know, Tim Ferriss or Tony Robbins or, you know, whoever else doesn't necessarily, that's not like a cookie cutter thing for every single person on the planet. Like you have to go and bushwhack your own way.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, holy crap, like that, I think that is, I don't know. I second.
How do you feel that pertains to like not knowing?
Well, that's what I think is like. I think like it's so easy to get worked up and kind of feel like a failure or like you're doing something wrong for not having an answer to the question or for you know not knowing exactly where you want to go or having some sort of vision or you know purpose-driven idea in your head. When it's not like, I think what you said was so powerful. Start on the things that you're grateful for, the little things that make you happy that you're grateful for. And I think the rest will unfold from there. You know, like it's okay to not have an answer to a question like that.
Dude, that's big. Actually, I'm so glad that you spotted that. Like, take the fucking pressure off.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think, no, you gotta fucking know, like, be happy in life. Be happy. Like, it doesn't happen from up here. It happens from like in here out, right?
Absolutely.
So like you're so right. I had the same thing. Like I kept reading all the books, and I was like, whatever book I read, that was my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, man, you write your own shit. You write your own book. That's beautifully put.
Nice. How'd that taste? Just kidding.
Wow. I don't even know what the fuck that was. You write your own book, and it is okay if you don't know what the next chapter is looking like right now. But sitting down and being like, I gotta write this shit is not gonna make it happen.
Absolutely.
Go back, relax. There's so many studies, so much science going into letting go now, letting go to then see things more clearly. That's why so many incredibly creative people used to go for it. Like they have their best ideas on walks or while working out. Like, it's so important to do shit where you're not thinking about the thing that you're thinking about.
You know where I write the majority of my songs that I've actually had I have sort of not like creative block, but like I've been having an issue writing because I used to write the majority of my songs while stuck in traffic in a car driving, and I got rid of my car. So now I got to think of new ways to be, creatively
not doing something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like that just goes to show, like damn, it goes to show something. I forgot the fucking point, but that
that you need to unplug to
absolutely.
get in.
If you're constantly focused on the thing, it's never gonna come to you. It's like anything else.
Yeah.
The moment you stop looking for love, let's say, when you're like, oh God, you gotta. The moment you stop looking for that perfect person and kind of just say, hey, you know what? My hands are tied. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna roll with the punches. Focus on myself. See what makes me happy. That is the minute that something comes into your life and changes it.
I'm so glad you brought up romance because there's a really I found it interesting tie-in to relationships with the question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail, right? And it's this idea of a marriage and like how, marriage or a divorce was not okay for so long, right? And for so long, so many couples stayed together for much, much longer, right? Granted, patriarchal world, a lot of women took a lot of shit and like people were just unhappy and miserable, but there was a lot more happy marriages that lasted a really long time, right? And I think it's this idea of like choice. Like if you know that you literally can't fail because you can't go out of this, then you make the most of what you've got with it. And I think that's an interesting take, and it's actually just recently. So Clara's going through her own stuff right now, and where we've been a little bit individualistic in our day-to-day lives. I'm dialing in my shit. She's working on her stuff, and like for me, there's no question that we'll fail, right? That's not it. Like she's the lid to my pot, and that's what's making this so much easier to bear than any past relationship where I feel like, you know, I just want to do me right now. I want to focus on myself. Like this is what I want to do. Maybe this isn't the right relationship because I don't want to spend 24/7 with them. Or vice versa, where like I want to do it like, oh, you don't love me anymore. You just want to do your own thing. And to be now in this like beautiful balance where it's like, okay, it also happens to work out that we're both in this right now. When in other times, like when one person's better, we kind of like are there for the other person. But right now we just got to like buckle down and do our own shit because like that's the energy we have and like we don't have a whole lot to give. But we can talk about that. We can see like meet each other where we're at. And I think it's a beautiful approach to a relationship. And I think very apropos considering you just tied the knot to you know, to say like I know divorce is a normal thing, but I think marriage is, in my head, like this concept is like, I'm saying yes because I want to be with you for life. Who the fuck knows what happens in 30, 40 years? But right now, this is what I'm feeling, right?
Yeah.
And I think that should go hand in hand with this won't fail. I won't let this fail. You won't let this fail. We won't let this fail. We will work to our bones to like be good. And I think that level of commitment is what makes a relationship into that thing that can last, right? So I do think that maybe we need to live life more along the lines of like, yo, maybe you can't fail. Like, what if you don't let yourself fail? What if you view as whatever failure or whatever obstacle or roadblock comes your way, not as failure, but as like a way to grow, another opportunity to learn something else, another situation where you can learn more about your partner if it's that, or a business gone sideways, but like, how many lessons have you learned? It's not a fucking failure.
Yeah.
Like whatever money you lost, it's not lost. It's you. That was your cost. You pay to go to school. You pay to learn your lessons in life afterwards.
Right. I think that's a good. I really liked what you said about doing the best with what you got. I think that's a big like, you know, sometimes you don't have 100% to give. You know, in any endeavor, whether it be relationships, love, business, whatever. But doing the best with what you have is, you ever heard the 4 agreements?
Yeah.
So that's like the fourth agreement or whatever.
Don Miguel Ruiz,
Yeah.
Senior, right?
Junior, I think.
No, Junior he wrote the other books.
The 5th agreement? Oh.
Yeah, he wrote the 5th and a couple
But
others.
the 4th agreement, you know, spoiler, whatever, is do your best. Because that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
so if you're, I think that's a great point. Like if you're, you know, don't be so focused on like the end game and like you said, getting all heady and in your head about, you know, the possibilities of, you know, whatever, and I have to, you know, drill down and focus on whatever. Just do the best of what you have. And then I think you sprinkle in a little bit of that delusion where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do the best I can, and like I'm not gonna fucking fail. And if you do fail, you look at it with that lens of, this isn't even a failure.
Yeah, can't
it's
be
a lesson.
Couldn't be me.
It's
I'm
an
not losing this.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, okay, I can just switch my sails this way and we got nothing but wind, you know? Like, I think these little steps, you truly can accomplish whatever you want to do within reason.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that because I feel like you found a way to take what would you do if you couldn't fail, right? And turn it into delusionally do your best. And it means the same thing, but the one sounds like, oh yeah, of course I can just do that. I can delusionally do my best. Yeah. Versus like, yeah, but like I'm not gonna fail. Like, but just the mental reframe. I love that a lot. Like, what would you do if you just delusionally did your best at something you love?
Yeah.
It's the same question we're asking, but in a way that sounds so much more.
And you'd also like have
doable.
more fun.
Yeah.
I think if you were walking into the room and you were facing whatever, you're walking into the scenario and you had the two, you know, one thought is, what would I do if I, you know, couldn't fail, or fails in the question, or like, what would happen if I just delusionally did my best at this? Sick, dude. Let's fucking rip it. Yeah. Let's do my best.
I'd want to hang out with the dudes who choose that one,
absolutely.
not that one.
Absolutely.
Those are the people that stumble into businesses that make millions, and even if they don't, those are the people where, you know, like,
they're just
he fucking loves what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's
like he's just winging it and having a blast and learning along the way, and like that's what life's all about anyway, dude. Like, have a fucking ripper of a time. Enjoy it.
Help
you know?
others, feel your best. Like, I mean, because I feel like that's often misunderstood quickly. We're like, oh, I'll just go party then. Like, which I feel like could be its own episode.
For sure.
Like, what does truly enjoying life mean?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, and
because,
hey, no knocking parties. I have been to my fair share of ragers. They're fun. But in this context of what we're talking, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you where I think if you reframe that question to what would happen if I delusionally did my best the entire time, I think you'd have a way better time answering that question.
I'm with you.
It feels like a good way to wrap it up.
It feels like a great way to wrap it up. I like that. Let me just double check that there's no major things that I wanted to maybe touch on. Yeah. So one thing that I do think is
hit me
fun to ask yourself on top, and it kind of plays into the playfulness of, delusionally do your best. Mm-hmm. What if the failing part, the potential of failure, however you view it positively or negatively, what if that's what makes it fun any fucking way?
It is.
Like, what if you knew you could just do the thing? Like, it would be so fucking boring.
I feel like I would never sit and listen to someone tell me a story of how they won every single time they ever did something. That would make me want to blow my brains out. It's way more fun to have a story like, dude, you want to know how I got here?
Yeah.
I fucking ate shit and then didn't eat shit and then ate shit again harder and then found my way.
It's growth.
It's growth, but it also makes for a better life story in the end. No one wants something that's handed to you or that's too easy.
There's a story arc in every fucking movie or show you see. There is no high without a low, period. Like, it's just, and this is not fun.
Whoa, hey, Elon, take it easy. Whoa.
Mega, make Europe great again. How the fuck? No, make what there was a better with a make Elon again. Make Elon. Fuck. Anyway, he fucking sucks. I hate him now. Remember when we thought he was a savior, and now he
I don't think I ever did. I think my buddy. I had some friends who were like,
cool.
They're like, dude, this guy is a legend,
amazing,
sending stuff into space.
So cool, catching it.
One of the boys, one of the boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So
brother. But to circle like that point, what you said is what did you say? It was
makes
so
it
good.
fun.
Yes, dude.
The risk makes it fun. Like, no risk, no fun. That should be a saying.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit. That's the freaking. Isn't that from a movie?
Why do you got always these like cuter way to say things like bubble gut? Like,
bubble guts. From last episode.
Risk it.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
Got it. No risk, no fun is very German. No risk, no
no
fun.
Risk, no fun.
If you do not risk it, you will not have any fun doing this. Great. Got to risk it to get the biscuit. Yeah. Okay. Assuming you love biscuit,
better story in the end.
It makes
at the very least, failure is like it's fun. Like,
yeah.
I think you got to I feel like we've talked about this already in the episode prior, but like, and I don't want to beat this to death again because I know I have a tendency to do that. But dude, failure's fun and it makes for a better story. And like, you embrace it. And
you can get to a place where failure becomes fun. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna issue a challenge today.
Ooh.
Challenge you for the challenger title.
Hit me.
You and I have talked about it, but if you feel so inclined, take 5 minutes. Close your eyes, sit down on the couch somewhere comfortable.
Whip it out.
Quick. What? Start jorking it.
Yeah, just start jorking it hard.
No, that was well timed. That was good. No, close your eyes, quick body check, deep breaths 2-3 times, in through the nose, out. Run through your body and ask yourself, is there something that you would delusionally love to do your best at that you're not doing right now? And imagine the life you could be living if you just did it and started focusing on it now. Smallest steps, whether it means signing up to an acting class, whether it means signing up. A lot of it's going to be probably signing up to shit because you might want to learn. Whether you dedicate 5, 10, 15 minutes every day to do it, to grow towards it. If you feel stuck, I challenge you, sit down, do the thing. And if something comes out, that'd be awesome. And if you're like, fuck, I already know what I'm doing and I'm doing it already, like Dan over here, then you get 2 cookies. Then you get a lip biscuit. Because you ain't risking. Well, you're risking. Yeah. I'm gonna
Almost.
stop talking. now.
Almost.
I almost landed it.
Oh, damn.
Man,
it was so sick.
good
Like,
until
the
it
plane
wasn't.
was right there. It's all good.
It's fine. Still
Can't all be
landed.
winners.
Still right in the towers.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
All right, guys. I love you.
9/11 joke. No,
Oh, boy.
thank, dude.
Dude,
Come on. That was
good
great.
shit.
Yeah, let's start doing this. No,
Yeah.
no, that.
It's easier.
We're
We're
growing. We're growing up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do the thing. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.